my friend. Have you ever found yourself wondering, why do my legs feel so tired I only walked a short distance and they're already shaky? Climbing the stairs, I have to hold on to the railing, and if I stand for too long, it feels like the strength is just draining out of my calves. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. After 60, nearly half of all older adults experience this. But here's the truth. It's not just getting old. It's not because you've been lazy. And it's definitely not a lack of willpower. The truth is your body is sending you a message. A quiet cry for help, coming from your legs. This is what we call sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. But it doesn't happen overnight. It builds up over years. From poor circulation, chronic inflammation, nerve fatigue, and too many nights without deep sleep. I'm Dr. Richards. I'm 60 years old, and for more than 3 decades I've worked with thousands of older adults across the U.S., helping them rebuild strength in their legs, and not through heavy medications or extreme workouts, but through small, consistent daily habits that truly make a difference. Today, I want to share with you 3 special teas that not only help rebuild your muscles, but help bring life back into every step you take. Are you ready? Let me take you to the very beginning. I still remember one of my former patients. Her name was Susan. She was 68 years old, widowed early, living alone in a quiet little house just outside the city. When she came to see me, she wasn't seriously ill. No chronic disease, no clear diagnosis. But what she said to me stopped me in my tracks. "Doctor, I'm not tired. I just feel like I'm slowly disappearing from my own life." She no longer went on walks. She stopped cooking even though she used to love it. And every time she stood up, her legs trembled like the connection between her brain and the ground was slowly fading. I didn't prescribe her a pill. I prescribed her a ritual. Every morning before doing anything else, she had to make herself a warm cup of ginger turmeric tea. By hand. No tea bags. She had to smell the ginger, take her time adding a pinch of black pepper. And when she drank it, she wasn't allowed to do anything else. No phone, no TV. Just sit and be present. Now that might sound strange, but here's the science behind it. When you drink a warm cup of tea in the morning, you're sending your body a signal. I'm waking up. I'm beginning the healing process. Unlike pills that dissolve quickly and fade away, tea enters slowly. It makes you pause. And in that pause, something amazing happens. Your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. That's the system responsible for repair, recovery, and regeneration. You see, as we age, our brains don't need novelty. They need consistency. When you repeat a simple act, boiling water, preparing tea, drinking at the same time each day, you rebuild the neurological pathways that support long-term healing. It's like physical therapy, but for your nervous system and inner organs. The problem is, most people drink tea without ever being there. They sip while scrolling their phones, or drink it rushed on an empty stomach. They use cheap tea bags, chug it down, and later say, "Tea didn't do anything for me." But the truth is, it's not that the tea isn't working. It's that the way you're drinking it is all wrong. Back to Susan. After just 3 weeks of drinking her morning tea and walking for 5 quiet minutes around her garden, she looked at me and said, "Doctor, I don't just feel stronger legs. I feel like someone turned the lights back on." And let me tell you, I've seen this not once, but hundreds of times. No pills, no gym memberships, just one quiet cup of tea every single morning. And that, my friend, is why this video isn't just about which tea is best. It's about how you turn your tea into a healing ritual. A gentle reminder each day that says, you're still here, and you deserve to feel whole again. If you were to ask me, Dr. Richards, with so many teas out there, where should I start? I wouldn't hesitate. I'd tell you, start with ginger turmeric tea. Not because it's trendy, but because it's foundational. Let's imagine your bloodstream like a river. Your heart is the source, And your blood vessels are the channels that carry nutrients and oxygen to every part of your body. But as we age, those channels begin to stiffen and narrow, especially in the areas farthest from the heart, like your calves and feet. When blood can't reach your leg muscles properly, those muscles begin to weaken. That's when you feel the signs: tired legs, shaky steps, heavy feet that feel like concrete. And this is where ginger steps in. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols, which naturally relax and expand your blood vessels. In older adults, this gentle vasodilation helps soften those stiffened vessels, bringing fresh blood and oxygen back down to your legs. It's like watering a withered garden, and when the water flows, the muscles start coming back to life. Now, what about turmeric? Turmeric contains curcumin, a powerful natural anti-inflammatory. But here's what you need to know. Inflammation in aging muscles doesn't always feel like pain. Sometimes it just makes you sluggish, slower to recover, stiff when you get out of bed in the morning. A clinical study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that older adults who took curcumin daily for 8 weeks experienced reduced joint and muscle pain, improved mobility, faster recovery from even light physical activity. But, and this is important, curcumin is very difficult to absorb on its own. One of the biggest mistakes I hear is, I sprinkle turmeric in my soup once a week. Isn't that enough? The answer is no. Curcumin needs black pepper to be absorbed properly. Just a small amount of piperine, the active compound in pepper, can increase curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. So if you want to make this tea the right way, here's how I recommend it. 3 to 4 slices of fresh ginger, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder or fresh turmeric root, a pinch of black pepper. Add just boiled water. Cover and let steep for 10 to 15 minutes. A squeeze of lemon or a little honey if you like. Let me tell you about Linda. She was 68, independent, strong-minded. But lately she'd found herself holding onto the stair rail with both hands just to get up one flight. I recommended this tea first thing in the morning, 30 minutes before breakfast. 3 weeks later, she came back glowing. Doctor, I climbed 2 full flights yesterday. No break, no hands. I cried not from exhaustion, but because I finally felt hope again. You see, a warm cup of ginger turmeric tea isn't just comforting. It awakens something in your muscles, in your circulation, in your spirit. And that's why when my patients ask where to begin, I always say, start here. If you only change one thing, let it be this. You know, most of the older patients who walk into my office say the same thing. I'm not inflamed, doctor. I'm not swollen. I'm not in pain. My legs just feel weaker. And that right there is the problem. Inflammation after 60 doesn't always scream. It whispers. Quietly, steadily, it pulls strength out of your muscles. Day by day. Step by step. We call it low-grade chronic inflammation, or in more modern terms, inflammaging. It's not like acute inflammation. It doesn't cause sharp pain or redness. It won't send you running to the ER, but it sabotages your body from the inside out. What does it look like? You can't sleep deeply. You recover more slowly. You're always a little fatigued. And most of all, your muscles, especially in your legs and lower back, just don't feel strong anymore. And here's the key, muscles can't rebuild when they're surrounded by inflammation. It's like trying to plant a garden in soil that's constantly on fire. That's why some of you feel wiped out after a simple walk, or sore for days after light exercise. Now, what causes it? There are 3 main culprits. Poor circulation. Your body can't clean out the inflammatory debris like it used to. Nutrient-poor diet. Too many processed foods, not enough antioxidants. Chronic stress. Poor sleep, loneliness. Hormone imbalances. And I often tell my patients, inflammation isn't just in your knees. It's in the way you sleep, the way you eat, even the way you think. I remember one woman, 70 years old, who told me, I think I'm just lazy. I don't want to go for walks anymore. But when we ran her blood work, her CRP levels were slightly elevated, a sign of systemic inflammation. So we made some changes, added ginger turmeric tea to her mornings, cleaned up her meals, worked on better sleep habits. 6 weeks later, she looked me in the eye and said, "Doctor, I'm not lazy. I was just tired in a way I didn't understand." And that is why ginger turmeric tea isn't just tea. It's a gentle tool for healing repeated daily. Gingerols and curcumin don't just warm the body. They dismantle the invisible inflammation that's been wrapping itself around your muscles. No antibiotics, no pain meds. Just one simple signal every day telling your body, we're starting to heal. So if you feel no pain, but constant fatigue, no swelling, but heavy legs, not sick, but no desire to move, then consider this. Maybe it's not weakness, maybe it's inflammation. And maybe, just maybe, the path to strength again starts with something small. We've just uncovered what quietly drains your energy: chronic inflammation. So how do we light that energy back up naturally, sustainably, without relying on coffee sugar or supplements? That's where we turn to ginseng and green tea, the perfect pair to restore both body and mind. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. You know, most of my patients don't come to me because they're in pain. They come because they've stopped wanting to move. Not because their legs are too weak, but because their spirit feels too tired. Have you ever felt this way? You wake up, but don't feel like getting out of bed. By noon, your eyes are heavy, your head foggy. A few steps out the door, and it feels like all your energy is gone. Let me be clear. This isn't laziness. It's a sign that your nervous system and adrenal reserves are running low. That's where ginseng comes in. Ginseng is one of the most researched adaptogens in the world. It helps your body adapt to stress and gives you sustainable energy without the jittery crash of caffeine. A study published in the Journal of Ginseng Research found that adults over 65 who took 200 milliliters of ginseng daily saw increased stamina, reduced fatigue, better mental clarity in just 30 days. And when you combine that with green tea, something remarkable happens. Green tea contains EGCG, a powerful antioxidant that reduces muscle inflammation, improves blood vessel elasticity, protects aging tissues, especially in the legs and spine. Plus, green tea has L-theanine, an amino acid that calms the mind, offering a smooth, focused energy without the harsh spike of coffee. So when you combine ginseng plus green tea, you get ginseng to recharge the body, green tea to soothe the mind. It's a beautiful pairing for older adults who want to restart both physical drive and emotional willpower. I remember Mr. Keating, 78 years old, a retired school teacher. After heart surgery, he told me, "Doctor, I don't enjoy anything anymore. Every step feels like I'm dragging my soul behind me." We didn't begin with workouts. We began with a quiet cup of ginseng green tea each morning, followed by just 5 minutes of gentle leg stretches at his bedside. 2 weeks later, he was walking to the mailbox. 6 weeks later, he was strolling through the park. But the thing that touched me the most, he said, "Doctor, it feels like someone flipped the light switch back on inside me. Here's how to brew it properly. Boil water, then let it cool slightly to about 160–180 degrees. This preserves the EGCG in green tea. Steep green tea leaves for 2–3 minutes. Add a few slices of fresh ginseng or 1/4 teaspoon of ginseng powder. Let it steep another 5 minutes. Add honey or lemon if desired. Best time to drink morning after a light breakfast, so mid-morning. Don't drink too late in the day. It may disrupt sleep. Avoid if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, heart rhythm disorders, or chronic insomnia. Talk to your doctor first. Common mistake: combining ginseng tea with strong caffeine drinks. This can overstimulate your nervous system. We've talked about how ginger turmeric tea removes silent inflammation, and how ginseng green tea reawakens your inner strength. But true healing doesn't just come from movement or energy. It comes from rest from sleep that renews and from relief from chronic stress. And that is where the third tea comes in, the one I call the nervous system reset ashwagandha tea. We'll dive into that in the next part. You know something? Muscles don't move on their own. It's your brain and nervous system that send tiny electrical signals, the very spark that makes every little muscle fiber come alive. But as we age that connection, it begins to fray. Not just because of time, but because of something more silent, more hidden, a quiet burnout in your nervous system and hormonal axis. I've had patients come to me saying, "My legs don't have any strength left." But when we check, the muscles are still there, still working. The real issue, the brain just doesn't want to give the order anymore. Their spirit is foggy. Memory breaks down. Sleep is shallow. Emotions feel unsteady. We call this the neuromuscular disconnect. It reduces your reflexes. It makes your balance shaky. And often it leaves you feeling like you've lost control over your own legs. But there is hope. Ashwagandha, a root from ancient Ayurvedic medicine, has now been studied thoroughly in modern science. It supports the HPA axis, the control center for your stress hormones and deep restorative sleep. Here's what it does. Lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that breaks down muscle when it stays elevated. Boosts natural GABA, which calms your nervous system and improves sleep. Helps regulate testosterone and growth hormone key for muscle repair. One study in the Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine found that after 60 days of ashwagandha use in older adults, deep sleep improved, physical recovery accelerated, lean muscle mass increased, and most importantly, motivation came back. I'll never forget Mr. Mark, 74 years old, no pain, no major illnesses, but utterly drained from the inside out. I sleep 8 hours and still wake up exhausted. I eat well, but my legs still feel weak. It's like I'm slowly fading out of my own life. We didn't add more pills. We created a nightly ritual, lights off earlier, 10 minutes of quiet breathing, and 1 warm cup of ashwagandha tea before bed. 4 weeks later, Mark returned and quietly said, "Doctor, I feel like I've come back to myself." How to prepare ashwagandha tea. Use 1 TSP of dried root or a tea bag. Simmer on low heat for 10-15 minutes. Add a touch of cinnamon honey or dried orange peel to taste. Drink 1 hour before bed. Avoid during the day, it can make you drowsy. After 60, many believe, "I just need to move more to feel strong again." But the truth is, you don't just need movement. You need restoration. Because muscles don't recover during workouts, they rebuild in deep sleep. And to enter that healing state, your nervous system must feel safe again. Ashwagandha isn't a miracle cure, but it's a gentle voice whispering to your body each night. It's okay now, you're safe, we're healing. We've walked through 3 teas together, 3 quiet companions. No noise, no miracle promises. Just patience, gentleness, and self-kindness, the way true healing begins. But there's still one thing more important than all the teas, herbs, or advice I could ever give you. And that's what I want to leave you with. We've come a long way together, haven't we? From understanding why your legs feel weak, not because you're lazy, but because of hidden inflammation, poor circulation, and chronic nervous system fatigue, to discovering 3 simple teas, each holding within them the wisdom of ancient natural healing. Ginger turmeric tea, to unlock blocked blood flow and soothe the silent inflammation draining strength from your legs. Ginseng green tea, to reawaken your inner energy, reconnect your will, your mind, and your body, like someone flipping the switch back on inside of you. Ashwagandha tea, to gently guide you into deep restorative sleep, resetting the delicate balance of your nervous, hormonal, and immune systems, the parts of you most worn down by the quiet stress of aging. But let me tell you something. More important than all 3 teas combined. You don't have to do it all. You just have to begin. Not perfectly, not with all the answers, just with 10 minutes each day in the morning or at night that you give back to yourself. A cup of tea, a slow, deep breath, a quiet whisper to your body. I'm still here, and I'm ready to start healing. Because your body is always listening. Even at 60, 70, or 80 years old, every right signal you send through how you eat, drink, sleep, and think is remembered. And then one day, so gently, so quietly, without warning, you'll rise from bed, without shaking. You'll stand tall, without grabbing for support. And you'll feel it. I'm myself again. If this video has stirred something inside you, here's what I invite you to do. Choose one tea whichever speaks to you most. Drink it daily for 30 days, and write down the small changes you notice along the way. And if you feel moved, share your story in the comments below. You never know. Your journey might be the first light for someone else still searching for their way back to health. My friend, now you understand why weak legs are not just about getting older. Nap. And how 3 powerful teas, ginger, turmeric, ginseng green, and ashwagandha, can mark the first step on your road to recovery. But there's something even more important I want you to remember. A warm cup of tea opens the door, but to step through that door, you need to move. Not complex exercises, not expensive equipment, just 3 minutes of gentle movement by your bedside after your morning tea. After ginger turmeric tea, take a light 5-minute walk. After ginseng green tea, stretch your legs gently. After ashwagandha at night, lie down, breathe slowly, and relax your muscles before sleep. I always tell my patients, every time you drink tea, stretch, or go to bed on time, you're casting a vote for your body. And health is the sum of hundreds of small votes repeated day after day. So here's what I invite you to do. Choose one tea that feels right for you. Brew your very first cup tonight or tomorrow morning, and just see what happens in the first 7 days. There's no magic, but here's what I can promise you. Your body is always listening, and it will respond if you keep sending the signal to heal. If this video has helped you today, click like so YouTube knows to show you more content like this. Share this video with someone you love. Maybe they need this quiet kind of hope too. And in the comments below, tell me, which tea will you start with? Ginger turmeric, ginseng, green tea, or ashwagandha? I'll be reading every comment, and I'd be honored to walk this journey with you. I'm Dr. Richards. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. I wish you a stronger body, a calmer mind, and a renewed sense of hope in yourself, starting with one simple cup of tea each day. I'll see you in the next video, and never forget, healing is always possible.